Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again with another Blu-ray DVD update. It's been about 2 weeks or so since my last one. I got a big old stack of DVDs and Blu-rays to talk to you guys about today, so let's get started with it. But the first one up here from Warner Brothers is House Party Tonight's the Night, aka House Party 5. I've been a fan of the House Party franchise since I first watched the first one back in like the mid-90s. I know the first one came out in like 88 or 89, but I've been a fan of Kid and Play for a long time, and when I found out that part 5 was coming out, I'm like, oh, I'll give it a shot, you know, like I like that. I love those kind of movies. And this movie is pretty much about these two high school friends named Chris and Dylan. They're at high school, their last year of high school. They're trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do with their lives. But they're really good at rapping and having these rap battles at school. One day, one of the kids' parents leaves town for like a little vacation or to go visit somebody. And one of the friends has this idea to have this house party and invite this music producer that's in town to this house party to show them what they really have. And of course, when they do that, the house party gets a little bit out of control. Too many people get invited. All this crazy stuff starts happening. You know, like things are falling apart. You know, this one kid that's having the house party doesn't like anything being touched, and stuff starts breaking and falling apart. That is all that kind of stuff, just like you would expect from a house party movie. I didn't like this movie as much as I did the first four. I gotta say, this is the weaker one of the franchise so far. But this one does have more production value and more money put into it than 4 did. But 4 just had a little bit more charm to it because it had the Mixon brothers in there. And I'm a fan of the Mixon brothers. You know, the two big guys in part 4 that dress up as women to come to the party. But this one, they had some funny elements in there. There's like this one guy with special needs that like really, I guess, loves this one overweight lady or girl or whatever, and he's trying to, like, you know, get her. There's a couple of funny elements to this film, but all in all, it just really didn't work, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, the main thing that really disappointed me is the little cameo you get from Kid and Play. Okay, like, you see them on the front of the box here, and there's like a little picture of them on the back of the box here. And I was like really excited because I'm like, oh my god, because there were, you know, Kid and Play weren't in number 4, but they were in the first 3. And I'm like, okay, they're back. And I watched it just to see them, and I was just really kind of disappointed by their cameo they had in this. But if you guys are really true fans of House Party, you guys are going to have to go out there and see it for yourself. So I recommend you guys go out there and rent this one. Check it out if you guys are a fan of House Party movies. Next up right here from Anchor Bay is Scary Movie 5 unrated on Blu-ray DVD Ultraviolet combo pack here. I like the Scary Movie movies. The first 2 are my absolute favorite. 3 and 4 I kind of can do without, to be honest with you. But 5 really kind of surprised me. I was laughing more than I thought I was actually going to in this. But this movie, of course, spoofs all the different little horror movies and things. The main 2 they spoof in this movie are Paranormal Activity and the movie Mama. They do a whole bunch of other little ones like Cabin in the Woods and Evil Dead and things. But the main 2 spoofs that, you know, go throughout the movie are Mama and the Paranormal Activity movies. I gotta say, the stuff with Snoop Dogg, or Snoop Lion, or whatever you guys want to call him now, was really super funny to me. And there was a couple other little tiny things in this film that really made me laugh. You know what I mean? Like the stupidest little things that you would probably not even, you know, really laugh at, I did. You know what I mean? Like, but there is some stuff I was watching going, oh, alright. Like someone getting hit in the head with like frying pans like 50 million times. I'm like, okay. You know, but there's like, I don't know, I don't want to, you know, get any deeper into this, but you get some deleted scenes and extended scenes on this Blu-ray here. I gotta say, to me, it's better than part 4. You know what I mean? Like, part 4, I really don't care about, but this one, I gotta say, in between 1 and 5, I gotta say, I like 1, 2, and 5 the most. The other 3 and 4, don't really ever need to watch those ones again. But that's Scary Movie 5 unrated on Blu-ray DVD Ultraviolet digital copy combo pack here. It was fun. I enjoyed myself when I enjoyed watching this. Next up right here from Disney is Oliver and Company. You guys know all this classic movie from that came out in 1988. It's pretty much the retelling of the story of Oliver Twist, but done in a Disney way with an orphan cat that befriends this dog named Dodger. He's kind of like a street dog, streetwise dog. And this dog has a gang of other street dogs that, live with this one guy named Fagin. And Fagin owes this one guy a lot of money. And these dogs are out there pretty much trying to, find things on the street that can help their master pay off the bad guy before the bad guy kills Fagin. And it's just one of those ones that always really stood out to me, like the music, like ooh 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 ooh. If you guys ever seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It looks very, very good on Blu-ray here. Very nice transfer. You get the Blu-ray and the DVD on here. You get, I believe, all their original special features that you had on the special edition DVD that came out of this. Yeah, I was just really surprised of how just amazing these Disney films look on Blu-ray, It's just a really, really fun one if you guys get a chance to see it. Next up right here is Robin Hood, the 40th anniversary edition on Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo pack here. And all these Disney ones have these cool slipcases with, embossed artwork on here. And this one also has all the original special features from the previous DVD release of the film. You guys all know the story of Robin Hood. The guy that steals from the rich and gives to the poor. I always love this film. This one right here, like a lot of the Disney films, I always loved as a kid. Even now, rewatching them again, just like the different characters they have of Little John, the big bear that helps Robin Hood steal from the rich and give to the poor, and just the king. The king and his little his friend Hiss. It's just a lot of really cool characters, funny characters in these films that you can never really forget, even when you grow up. This is one of those things. And this one also looks very amazing on Blu-ray. And I don't know, these movies, I just can't ever get enough of them. I remember buying these movies on VHS and DVD, and now having the Blu-ray pack here. Because when you watch this movie, I bet you for the next day or two afterwards, you're going to be going, ooh da lolly, ooh da lolly. And next up is The Sword and Stone, one of my all-time favorite animated films when I was a kid growing up. I remember watching this one tons of times. If you guys don't know anything about this movie, it's pretty much about the story of King Arthur and how there's this sword and this stone. And there's this legend of how all these people back in the day kept trying to pull it. And anybody that can pull this sword from this stone will become King of England. And then, it flashes, later on, in the future. And that sword is still in that stone. And you come across this orphan boy named Wart. He's always being kind of treated kind of badly, always being told to wash dishes and big old piles of dishes, always, just always being kind of pushed around until he, befriends this one wizard named Merlin. And Merlin teaches him all these different things, teaches him how to learn, and teaches him how to become a fish, become a squirrel, like all these weird different things Merlin does. And I always remember watching this one a lot more as a kid, because I always liked the magician part of it, and how Merlin, and he has this talking owl named Archimedes, and it's just really kind of cool, you know what I mean? It's just one of those ones that I always remember, always really love. And it has all the original special features that the 45th anniversary edition of the movie had. This is the 50th anniversary edition here. You get the DVD, the Blu-ray, and the ultraviolet digital copy of it on here. And I just really like the slipcases that these, like I said, these Disney movies are having now. And if you guys have never seen this movie, I highly recommend it. Absolutely love this film. And next up here from Sony is a movie called Adventures in Zambezia. This is a movie I don't think came to theaters, and if it did, I totally missed it. I don't even remember it coming to theaters. Let me know in the comments of this video if you did, because I was just like, what? When I saw it, I'm like, what is, like, I don't think I've heard about this one before. But I love my animation film, so I wanted to check it out. And the cast of it here is you get Abigail Breslin, Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, and Samuel L. Jackson. It's a simple story about these two falcons, a father and son. They live in South Africa. They live in this kind of gorge area, this kind of canyon. And the father never really wants the son or himself to go past a certain point. They're kind of like, just stuck in this certain area because they're safe. You know, they don't want to go outside of their little comfort zone. But the little boy, the young falcon, wants to adventure out, wants to see the world. And one day, these group of birds come to where they live, you know, to stop by, to, like, you know, rest for a while before they go off to Zambezia. And the little falcon boy finds out about this place that they're going to called Zambezia, which is the city of birds. And he wants to know what that is, and he wants to go there. But his dad's really set in his ways and doesn't want to, you know, go. He just wants to stay where he's comfortable at. So one night, the young falcon goes. He goes to Zambezia without telling his father and leaves his father alone. And he goes to the city of birds, and he's having this time of his life. And then when he's there, he finds out that his dad got kidnapped by the evil King Lizard Man, or whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty much him, the rest of the movie, trying to get his dad and make sure his dad's okay. And it was a decent watch. It's not the best animated film that I've seen, but it is totally worth a rental if you guys are into the Sony animated films. I believe the last one that I watched that they made was Arthur Christmas, which I absolutely loved. But guys, give this one a chance. A rental. It's a DVD, Blu-ray, digital no digital copy actually. Blu-ray DVD copy pack here. You get a slipcase here. Samuel L. Jackson plays the father Falcon in this. It's worth a watch. You know what I mean? It's a little different kind of animation kind of a movie than you would used to be seeing. But Adventures in Zambezia. Give it a chance if you guys see it out there for rent. Alright guys, and next up is Olympus Has Fallen, starring Morgan Freeman, Aaron Eckhart, and Gerard Butler. This movie is pretty much about terrorists taking over the White House and kidnapping the president. And Gerard Butler is an ex-Secret Service agent in this film. And at the beginning of this movie, something horrific happens to him and the president. And he sort of gets, you know, just put into a desk job. He kind of just, you know, starts doing that. And then he finds out that these people are taking over the White House, and he sees it from his window where he's working. And he goes, oh my God, what is happening? Because he sees all these explosions happening at the White House. So he kind of gets himself to the White House and, you know, finds out what the hell's really going on. But everyone in the White House, you know, got captured or killed, except for the president and a select few. And he's the only one in the White House, and the bad guys don't know about. And it's him trying to save the president and save the other people that got captured by these terrorists. This movie was actually kind of kick-ass, you know. It's kind of like Die Hard in a White House, you know, with Gerard Butler playing the John McClane kind of a character. It was really kind of fun. It felt like a total, like, 90s action flick. Like, if this came out back when the first Die Hard came out, you would think it was as cool, if not cooler, than the original Die Hard. But Die Hard's awesome, cooler than this. But I just found myself really, really digging this film. And I know there's another movie out there called White House Down. It's kind of like the same thing, which I haven't seen yet either, but I'm sure I'll get a chance. I'll watch that sooner or later. But this one was actually really kind of fun. Highly enjoyable. If you guys get a chance, totally check this one out. Super, super fun on here. Next up right here is The West of Memphis. This is another documentary about the West Memphis 3. If you guys have ever watched the previous documentaries called The Paradise Lost, or, you know, the first 3 Paradise Lost movies, this is just a kind of a continuation of that. And this one's also produced by Damien Echols, one of the kids that was accused of murdering these 3 boys. And this is just pretty much another retelling of what happened, with a couple of new things that were uncovered since the last documentary came out. It was enjoyable. If you guys like the Paradise Lost movies, you're gonna have to check this one out just to find out what's really going on and what happened. But you are gonna be kind of disappointed because everything sort of gets left open-ended. Like, you still really don't know who killed those boys or anything like that. But it's still interesting because I've been really watching those Paradise Lost movies for a long time now. I've been really interested in the whole West Memphis 3 case, and, you know, if they really did it, or who really committed those murders. But Sony Pictures Classics is putting this one out. You get deleted scenes, commentary track on here by Damien Echols and others. And there's also a special feature on here at the Toronto International Film Festival red carpet Q&A with some of the people in this film. It's really really kind of messed up what happened. If you guys don't know the story of the West Memphis Three, it's about these 3 boys that get accused of killing and mutilating these 3 8-year-old boys in Memphis back in like 1993, 94. And if you guys want to know more about this, totally go and get the first Paradise Lost movie, then watch the second, then the third, and then get this one if you guys want to know more about it. Alright guys, next up is Magic here, starring Juno Temple and Michael Cera. This movie is pretty much about Juno Temple's character going to visit her cousin and go on vacation to Chile, to this remote island. And when she goes on vacation with her cousin gets called away for some odd reason, and she's stuck with these 3 people she doesn't really know, and she's just kind of like, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? The only person I really know is gone. I'm on this faraway island, and what am I gonna do? And these you don't know if these people are crazy. She starts to see things in some of them. They're kind of weird, but you don't know if she's going kind of crazy, if she's mentally ill. It's one of those kind of movies. Like, you don't really know what really is going on, if it's in her mind, if it's really happening kind of a film. I really did like the location in this film. I believe they shot this in, they say it's Chile, but I think was it South Africa? I don't really remember where they filmed this at, but the scenery of this film was amazing. A lot of the shots that they had in this movie, like Juno Temple on top of these rocks, like she's going to be jumping into the ocean, really, really nicely shot. And I really just like the atmosphere of this film. But when this film is over, you're still trying to guess of like, what the hell is really happening here? You know what I mean? It's one of those things you have to make up in your own mind what you think is going on in this movie. You know what I mean? It's really one of those ones that's really kind of hard to explain, but really kind of entertaining at the same time. I was entertained by it. You also get a making of featurette on here. You totally see Michael Cera in a weird, different kind of role than you usually see him in. The bumbling kind of, ditzy kind of idiot kind of guys. In this one, he's a little different in this. Like, you see him, doing certain weird things in his bed and things getting rubbed on his face. It's a lot of weird stuff going on in this movie, and I think it's a nice step for Michael Cera to do something a little bit different than he's usually doing. But that's Magic on DVD here. Give it a chance. There's no Blu-ray release of this, just a DVD. But give this one a chance if you guys see it out there. And next up right here is the 5th and final season of the Dick Van Dyke Show here on Blu-ray. You get all 31 episodes of the final season in beautiful, beautiful HD. You also get all the original special features that you got on the DVD release of Season 5 on this, but with 2 new Blu-ray exclusive extras. One of them is a TV tribute to Carl Reiner, the creator of the show, and the other one's network promo spots that weren't previously released on the DVD editions of this. But for you guys who don't know about the Dick Van Dyke Show, it was originally going to be called Head of the Family, I believe. And Carl Reiner was the star of the show. Like, they shot a pilot of it with Carl Reiner, the creator of the Dick Van Dyke Show, but him playing, Rob Petrie. And when he shot it, him as a star and pitched it to these companies, the companies didn't like the show. They didn't think it worked. But then years later, when Carl Reiner went back and did the show again and, redid it and put Dick Van Dyke in there, the studios loved it and they wanted more. It was just kind of one of those things, if you guys didn't know, it's just kind of cool to know that the show was originally called Head of the Family, starring Carl Reiner, but then, it just didn't really work out. But then the same exact show, a couple years later, and all I did was put Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore in there, and it seemed to work. But that was just kind of cool to know. I found that out on one of the special features on the previous DVD set I got of this. Because this is one of those classic shows that you just have to see. It's super funny. And you also get a special feature on here. That was part of the DVD when the DVD of Season 5 came out, I believe, of Don Rickles talking about his experience shooting the famous 2-part episode that he was in, just giving his thoughts and how he felt about that episode and how he felt about being in being on the Dick Van Dyke Show. It was a cool special feature because I always like Don Rickles. But just let you guys all know that Season 5 now is out on DVD, Blu-ray and DVD, and you can complete your set now. So go out there and get it. Next up right here is a movie that, oh man, I watched earlier today, and I cried. I cried my eyes out. I didn't think I was really going to do that. And it's a movie called Raising Izzy. It's about these two young girls. One's like 14, the other one's like 8 or 9. And their mom recently passed away from having cancer, but they're actually living on their own in this apartment. And they're like, the older one's going out shopping and going home, and they're helping each other with their homework, doing their homework like nothing's wrong, going to school. They're doing all this stuff for about a year. And one day when they come home from school, their apartment has burned down and they have nowhere to go. And it's pretty much them trying to figure out what they're going to do. And there's also another 2 characters in this film, one playing the teacher. And, one of the teachers of the school is kind of figures there's something weird going on with her. You have to watch the movie to find out, but it was just a really lovely story. I believe it's a Christian film because they're really talking a lot about God in some of these scenes. But still, it really did make me cry. When you see this movie, if you don't have a tear in your eye in any point of this movie, you probably don't have a heart. You know what I mean? But that's Raising Izzy. I found this movie to be really, really just a sweet movie. I really did like this one. If you guys see it out there, definitely give it a chance. And next up from 20th Century Fox is Trance on Blu-ray digital copy combo pack here, starring Rosario Dawson and James McAvoy. In this film, James McAvoy plays this auctioneer at this high-end art auction, and one day these people come in there and steal this painting, or come in here to steal this painting that's worth $27 million. And then it's pretty much about him trying to figure out what happened, because during the robbery, James McAvoy gets conked on the head. He can't remember a damn thing. So it's pretty much him going to Rosario Dawson's character that plays a therapist or a hypnotist, and to go there and try to find out what really happened. But at the same time, he doesn't really want to know everything, because the bad guys that conked him on the head are outside wanting to know where the painting is, because when they thought they got this painting, they really didn't get this painting. James McAvoy did something and hid this painting somewhere, but he doesn't know exactly where. But if he doesn't find this painting, these bad guys are going to kick his ass or kill him, It was a really kind of a fun movie. You see more of Rosario Dawson than you've ever seen in any of her other movies in this film. But I really found myself highly entertained by this film. Looks fantastic on Blu-ray. It's just one of those movies. It's like, getting hypnotized and, trying to see things and try to dig deep in your mind and find out what really happened and what's really going on and how crazy stuff can happen. It was a super fun movie, a fun thriller. I recommend anybody to go out there and check this one out. I wanted to see it because I'm a super fan of Rosario Dawson. I always liked her in all these movies, Clerks 2, Josie and the Pussycats, Kids, everything. She's always really good in all the stuff she's in. But highly recommend Trance on Blu-ray, guys. Next up right here from Millennium is The Killing Season, starring John Travolta and Robert De Niro here. In this film, Robert De Niro plays ex-military veteran. He kind of lives in the woods, kind of keeps to himself. He doesn't really keep that much contact with his kids and his family. He's just kind of in the woods. He's kind of just he's kind of chilling out, And one day he's outside. He's going to the the CVS pharmacy to get his ointment for his leg that always hurts him. And he bumps across this one guy walking in the woods by himself, played by John Travolta. And John Travolta is a terrorist, and those two strike up this little relationship with each other and have this night, of drinking and just having these little, conversations with each other. But come to find out, John Travolta is actually there to kill Robert De Niro's character and wants to find out what really happened during the war, and why were you there, why were you doing this, and all that kind of stuff. It was a very, very well done movie. A nice, actor piece. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones you watch just straight up for the acting, because the acting was just amazing in this film. I found this movie to be highly enjoyable. Really good setting too, just in the woods, and a lot of weird stuff goes on in this film. With bows and arrows and things. It's really, really cool. Killing Season. Check it out, guys. Next up right here is Vehicle 19, starring Paul Walker. This movie is pretty much about Paul Walker's character. He's just released from jail. he's going to go visit his girl. And as he's doing it, he has to go rent this car, and he rents this car, but his car was supposed to be rented to somebody else. He finds out that there's a gun in the car. He finds out that there's a girl trapped in the trunk of the car, and he's trying to figure out what the hell, why is all this happening to him? And of course, there's a cell phone in the car, and the bad people are calling him and telling him, you have to go here, you have to do this, you have to do that, kind of a thing. It's like, God damn it, I just got out of jail. Man, I don't want to go straight back there again. But this one was actually kind of a fun movie. 99% of the movie takes place inside the car. You know what I mean? Like all the shots and almost all the movies takes place inside this car. Of like you get to see him what he sees outside of the windows and things. But it was a really inventive kind of a film. You know what I mean? Like one of those movies you don't see all the time. You know what I mean? I like that refreshing kind of filmmaking going on here. But this one's a Blu-ray DVD Voodoo digital copy combo pack here. It was a fun one. If you guys like Paul Walker from like the Fast and the Furious movies, he gives a good performance in this. I absolutely liked it. It's nothing like Fast and the Furious or anything like that, but it's a fun one. Next up right here, Storm Surfers. If you guys are into movies like The Endless Summer or Stepping into Liquid, or just like the surfing documentaries, this is a new one. This one is pretty much about these two pro surfers that love surfing places that no one's ever surfed before, and they also have a friend with them that they've known for a long time that's a forecaster, and his job is to find the great places to go surfing at, like where the big swells are. So it's about these two guys in their late 40s, going out to surf these big waves. It was just a really fun documentary. It's one of those ones that you watch and just kind of like, chill out and just look at the scenery and look at different shots that they have in this film. And, as the years go on, with documentaries and the way people can make movies, like in this, they have cameras like strapped on to like the surfboards, and you get certain angles of like what it looks like to be on the surfboard in the water that you wouldn't have saw in the old school and the summer movies, So you get some really cool, amazing shots of them like inside of big waves and stuff. It's really kind of cool. But if you guys get a chance to see this and you're into those surfing documentaries, totally give this one a chance. I absolutely love this film. Next up right here from E1, it's called The Good Life. It's pretty much about this couple, this husband and wife couple. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like tired of each other, and they're both having relationships with other people, but they're, of course, they're not telling each other about it. And it's pretty much about them just having those relationships, and like the guy has a relationship with this business partner or half business partner of his. The person he's cheating on with wants to get married to him, wants him to leave his wife, and it's just one of those back and forth kind of things. It was really kind of shot kind of poorly. Like if the script and the way they shot it was just really kind of bad. Like some of the acting in it wasn't the greatest either. I don't know. Sometimes I like watching movies like this, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I think I can make a better movie than this with my little camera that I'm shooting this update with, kind of a thing, Just like all around, I did a lot of fast forwarding in this one. Don't watch that one. But last up here for this update, guys, is the stand-up special. Trevor Noah, African American, is his new stand-up special here. In this one, Trevor Noah talks about how he feels in America to be half white and half black, and how he talks about different stories about how different people treat him in certain circles and things. It's really super funny. I really did dig this stand-up comedy special. If you guys see it out there, give this one a chance. It's really super funny. It's the first stand-up one in a while that I really laughed out loud at. But guys, that's all I really have to show you guys today. I had this big old stack of DVDs and Blu-rays to get through today. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up if you guys liked it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the movies and DVDs I talked about today. And I'll see you guys all next time.